Hi, my name's Kathy Millett, and this week we're looking at how to fail at modelling. So why are we looking at failure? It's not an obvious topic, and it's not one that you're probably thinking, wow, I need to know all about this. And I'm going to show that through the magic of TV, not everything is actually as it seems. But there's a really important lesson, and I use this Master Chief figure that I'm going to be doing a video on when I redo him as an example. So I had a lot of time off over the summer, and I modelled, and it was great, and I videoed, and I had a great time. And I stacked up loads of videos, and then I went back to work, and I had less time. And I tried to get my videos done quite quickly, and it didn't really work. So techniques that I had used previously didn't work for various reasons. I'd either forgotten one little step or something didn't quite work as I expected. And I was thinking, oh no, I haven't got the time to look at this. So I've taken a deep breath and I thought I'd do this video on what it's like when it all goes wrong. So these are my sticks that did work, and we've got a set of videos coming up on how to do weathered wood. And these ones are peeling paint. And actually, there's a really nice technique with bubbles that I hadn't previously developed or seen. So really pleased with that. And some of my peeling came out really well. But I've also got a pile over here. Well, they didn't peel. And I've got a pile here that just, well, that didn't work either. And I've got a pile here that, I tried to use grey hair dye as an experiment, and yeah, that didn't work. So I end up with this huge pile of sticks that are experiments in various different types. And some of them, yeah, they worked out all right. Some of the stuff, it just went blotchy. And a lot of it just wasn't worth putting on video. So I end up with a nice pile of rejects and a smaller pile of ones that worked. And why am I talking about all this? Well, sometimes you just have to admit that if you're going to be a good modeller, you have to bin some of your models. And sometimes that's a hard decision. You might have hours of work. So this Master Chief, I spent all of Sunday afternoon, I spent Monday night, Tuesday night, and now it's Wednesday night, modelling him. It was awful. But I'd done him previously, exactly the same techniques on this little one. And I've been pleased how they came out, generally. I mean, it is smaller. I could pick some holes in it, but the technique, I didn't have a huge problem with it, and it looked all right. Doing exactly the same technique in big, it really showed some of the flaws. So I'm back to stage one, and if he looks a bit blotchy, I still need to take some of his dull coat off, which was the first layer. So what do I need to get across about failure? One, it's okay to fail. In fact, if you're not failing, you're probably not pushing the boundaries. So my grey hair dye ones in here, oops, that's not one of them, this is one of them. It didn't work. I thought maybe grey hair dye, for people who want to look like they've got grey hair, would be a really great thing for wood. And it didn't work for a number of reasons. One, it was a bit splodgy because it's not supposed to run off. And two, it didn't really get a great colour. I mean, it would have been okay, actually. It would have been a nice colour had it worked properly. So you have to experiment, because if you don't, you'll never push the boundaries of your modelling. So you need to get out there and try stuff you've never done before, and you will fail. I've had that leaking resin moment where you look under your diorama and go, oh, I'll get some more newspaper then. All my stock is currently off my layout, so that when I do all my scenery, I cannot put any gunk on it. But I still managed to drop an entire amount of grout all over the shelf below where they were carefully put. So failure happens, and sometimes it's because you're just trying new stuff. And people say don't try it on your really good models. That's true. I mean, these are just sticks. I don't mind if it doesn't work on sticks. I probably wouldn't have done hair dye for the first time on a Craftsman kit, unless I could replace the wood or something. So there is something about just, you're failing because you're trying, and that's really important. Sometimes you just fail because you're too rushed, and that's what I've been doing. I've been doing techniques that I've known, but I've kind of tried to remember off the top of my head how I did them, and I've sat down blank in front of the video and gone, right, this is how I did it, and it wasn't. And what can you do about that? Well, not a lot really. You need time to be a good modeller. You do need to just sit there and give it the hours. And this guy sat in front of the TV and built, and I loved it. I mean, these kits, they're sprue kits by Bandai. They're beautiful to put together. They clip, they're good instructions, they're really easy. You can do them in front of the TV. I get a great deal of satisfaction out of just putting together a really simple model like this. And they look great. I guess the third thing I want to say is, well, sometimes you just get it wrong because products change. So this peeling paint, when I did it, I wrote down what I did and I checked my blog, and it is the Chuck Doan method, and I used meths and polyscale acrylic. Now I don't use polyscale acrylic anymore, so I used Vallejo, and well, Vallejo's just not thick enough. It didn't do what it should have done. So I went and Googled and found somebody in Australia who had used Terps and Tamiya. So I thought, great, I've got Tamiya. I'll have a go. And it worked all right. I have to say, I don't think it's quite as good as the meths and polyscale acrylic method, but it works all right. And it's enough, it's a lot more subtle. That's why it just perhaps is a bit too subtle for a video. But you know, it's a good peeling paint still, even if it's a subtle peeling paint. So sometimes you try a method you've got to work before and it doesn't work this time. It could be a product change, could be something else. And the answer is you just have to go back and do it again. So I'm going to end this video now, and I want you to take one message away with you, and that is failure is okay, because without it, we wouldn't improve. If everything went well the first time, why would we need to change? Why would we need to try a different technique? If this guy had looked great, well, I would have probably saved myself about 5 or 6 hours of modelling and videos and all that sort of stuff. But actually, it would have just gone great and I wouldn't have thought twice about it. Whereas now, I'm thinking, how can I make him even better? And I'm looking at the little one with a different set of eyes going, actually, yeah, that didn't look as good as it could have, and I can improve it. And I think that's the important thing. Failure is part of the road to improvement, and we all want to be better modellers. So don't worry, pick it up and tune in. You'll see how I do them the second time round. I've brought another couple in case this one just doesn't work. And don't be worried. You can almost always strip your paint. You can almost always start again. You can experiment. I did hundreds of these tests on these when I first started modelling with everything under the sun, every paint. So there, I'm going to shut up now, go fail, and come back and tell me about some of your major failures, because I've only stuck to the ones in the last 3 weeks, and trust me, I can go back a lot further and come up with some far more stupendous ones if I wanted to. But I wouldn't be the modeller I was today if I hadn't pushed the envelope and if I hadn't been willing to at least try, even if sometimes I don't get it right.
It. You know what Cassie's like, she doesn't mind.
I was trying to do the little silver edging thing with the Sharpie and it was just too big. I'm only at scale. It was too big.
Oh.
I just splodged it everywhere.
Not to worry.
It's a mess.
She's already screwed it up once. Yeah, she stripped it back to basics. He had a sort of mucky weather coat on a few weeks ago.
We can.
Yeah, don't worry.
We can fix it.
We can fix it. We just need some isopropyl alcohol.
She's it once already because it went wrong.
And a rag.
So we can do it again. Okay. Okay, I'll dry my eyes. Pull myself together. And we'll fix it. Please say we'll. Okay. Okay. Right, so we just need a bit of isopropyl alcohol, okay, and a rag. Right, I'm end scale.
An N scale rag. Okay, let me see if I can find one. Well, I'll let you do it, because you're on, yeah, no, okay. Oh, doing a good job. Oh, it's coming off. You can hardly see it. Oh, that looks good. You can hardly see it was there. Keep going a little bit more. It's all gone. You see? Didn't matter. You can always strip it back to basics and start again.
Look at that! It's like new!
Oh,
And she'll never know I screwed it up.
don't worry.
Oh, thank you, Mill Scale Kathy. Oh, you're amazing. Thank you.